Welcome back to our discussions of React. Today we're going to look at React props. So what are props? Props are an immutable object that is unchangeable, object used to pass data to React components. We'll see some examples next. Before we return to our React component, I'm going to take another look at our Babel, and I've reduced this down to the div here, and we can see the create element div null. I'm going to add some attributes to this what looks like an HTML element. And we can see how this gets translated over in our ES5 call. Create element div in quotes, and then this is a JSON object. So with a JavaScript object with properties in it. Title, hello. So this is our HTML looking attributes that are getting translated into here. That says create elements. When you create that element, pass this as a parameter. So this cleverly, since this is a set of key value pairs, you can have more than one. There we have it. As you continue to add attributes, and they don't have to be HTML attributes, they can be anything, it gets added to this set of JSON, that key value pairs that gets passed to this when this element is created. That's the ultimate source for the props object that we're going to look at when we get back to React examples. So I've added a couple more examples. I added a number here. And notice the number is in curly braces, so we need to escape to JavaScript to express the idea of a number. Otherwise, it won't be able to understand it. Notice here, nothing results. So a string can be straightforwardly dealt with quotes because it's really directly part of the HTML standard, so they support strings. But anything else, we need to escape to a JavaScript expression and use our curly braces, right? So this translates to this, and this would accurately convey a number. That is, notice there's quotes around the strings, and the number doesn't have any quotes. And here's our array, right? Again, we escape to JavaScript for an expression, and within that we can put our array. And here we have 3, 4, and since arrays in JavaScript aren't restricted to single types, I also put a string embedded in that array. Now we've seen callouts to our components, and remember components have to start with capital letters. So suppose I have a component here. Now this doesn't know this of course doesn't know about this component that I'm using here, but it knows how to make the translation to it, right? Because look what it does. So this is all one element, all within this one div here. So we still have a single element, create element here, div, and now with its JavaScript object here passed into it when it's constructed, and then comma, another call to an embedded create element here. Notice this show text here. Okay, so this says, it would say, look for this class called show text and make an object of that type, and then pass it these parameters here. So those would be attributes. Right here. So now we're passing our attribute to this element here. But notice this uppercase letter here. I'm going to use a lowercase letter here, and you can see how JSX gets translated. Notice it puts it in quotes. That's why we have to use an uppercase letter. It's just a simple convention that says you need to look for a class of this type in order to instantiate it, in order to fulfill the create element promise. Whereas if it starts with a lowercase text, it says, you must know about this one. I'll put it in quotes, just like it knows about the div element. In other words, look for one of your tags and expand it. And of course, when it looks for one of your tags to expand it, it doesn't know about this as an official element. You need to teach it, and this is really what creates that convention, right? Look for a class called show text. All right, so now that we've seen a little bit of background on how these attributes get created and passed within the create element call, now we're ready to discuss props.